today we're going to discuss the benefits of yoga and the special needs community. Now, this one is near and dear to my heart. I have a son who has special needs, and he actually kind of got me on the track of trying to gear my yoga for all abilities and all capabilities, because I was realizing that there is a lot of stuff out there that, even though it feels like a safe and inclusive space, it's still kind of off limits sometimes to the special needs community. They just can't participate, or a teacher is afraid or doesn't want to offer variations. Now, for yoga with special needs, I would say that it especially requires an extra lot of patience. Any parent or educator of a child or an older adult with special needs knows that patience is really a key. So is creativity. So is being open to variations, and also having a really open mind. You might come in with a plan. You might come into a yoga class with a plan. Maybe you're doing a multiple disabilities classroom. So there could be kids of many different capabilities and many different challenges. And you come into that classroom with a plan, and that plan is thrown out the window within the first 5 minutes. And you need to be okay with that. So it's definitely maybe a different type of teacher that's willing to handle that and able to handle that, but I really think yoga has some very strong benefits for anyone in the special needs community. So one major benefit is body awareness. Now that comes for anyone with yoga, but sometimes for people who have various special needs, body awareness can be a challenge. And I think it's a really important skill to have. You get body awareness, you get more spatial awareness, proprioception. You cross, a lot of yoga crosses midline, which is that invisible plumb line that runs up and down in your body. So if we're reaching this way, reaching that way, maybe we have our leg up over here, any of that crossing midline helps to improve bilateral coordination. It helps the right and the left hemispheres of your brain to communicate better together. And it also helps tremendously with fine motor skills, and then it can bleed into helping with gross motor skills. If you think of throwing a ball, that's a big gross motor skill, but in doing that, you're crossing midline. So the more that you can practice that through yoga in a safe and supportive space, the more that'll be able to translate into the real world off the mat. I also feel like a really important part of yoga is the breath. And when we breathe in and we breathe out and we get ourselves grounded, that can help people with special needs in so many ways. It can help because a lot of people with different challenges may have a harder time with transitions. I think anyone has a tough time with transitions and change at some point in their life, but sometimes transitions can be extra tricky for people with special needs. And if you can find a way to breathe and ground and focus, that can be a huge tool that you can use outside of the actual yoga class. You might use that in a classroom for people with special needs. You might just use that if there's a situation. I know my son, if he's getting stressed or frustrated, if there's an activity he knows he should be able to do and he's not able to, he might get frustrated, he might get angry, or he might get upset. And if I say the word, calm hands or calm body, he will actually go and take a breath in often as well. So he's been learning to take that breath and help himself calm down. And we've been doing yoga with him since he's a little guy. So it can really benefit anyone. Also with the breath support and the breath practice, you start to learn breath support when we take those big, deep belly breaths and the diaphragmatic breathing. And that breath support can really help with speech development or any sort of speech challenges, because you need good airflow to be able to produce appropriate sounds for speech. And if you're practicing that in yoga, that can translate over to your speech therapy and speech lessons as well. And finally, I feel like yoga can really give a good sense of community. Like we were talking about with having a safe space and a welcome space to learn, a non-judgmental space. Sometimes often that can be really tough to find within the special needs community. So if you have a safe yoga space, it could be online, such as this one. It could be a class, an in-studio class. But if you know that you're safe and you're not going to be judged for the way that your body moves or doesn't move on a given day, it can be a really good boost to emotional and mental well-being.